I mean, I had a discussion with one of those Takfiris in Amman. I get into a taxi and the guy says, what's your name? I said, Jalal, Abualrub, what do you do? Books, this and that. I think you're a Salafi. I said, yes, I'm a Salafi. Alhamdulillah, I look like a Salafi. I used to be with this group in Kuwait. We used to make takfir of everyone. Then when Saddam came, they went to Jordan, started making takfir of everyone in Jordan. So I said to him, so what's the game? What is it? Why do you make takfir? Because Allah said in the Quran, anyone who doesn't rule about Allah has revealed is a kafir. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. I said, yeah, of course, this ayah, subhanallah. So prove to me you're not a kafir. You, instead of talking about King Hussein and other people, I don't care. Prove to me you're not a kafir. He said, why you ask this question? I said, what did Allah reveal in the Quran for Anwar Sadat to rule by in politics by the Quran and Sunnah, or for all Muslims to rule by what Allah revealed in the book? He says yes. What things did Allah reveal in the Quran? Aspects about Tawheed, right? Shirk, Salah, Siyam, being kind. All this, what Allah revealed. He said yes. He said among what Allah revealed, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu taqullaha wa kunu ma'as sadiqin. O you who believe, fear Allah and be among those who say the truth. He says, yes. I said, Allah ruled that we should fear Him and only say the truth. He says, yes. I said, so if you lie once, do you become a kafir? He says, that's a good question. I'm going to go back to the teacher and ask him. So he goes back to the teacher on Wednesday, and the teacher tells him, who calls everybody a kafir, come Thursday, I'll give you the answer. He comes back Thursday, there's nobody in the masjid. I'm telling you what's happened. So he comes back to me after a while, he calls me, I said, okay, what happened, what's the answer? He said, first I thought about your question. It's a legitimate question because what Allah revealed in the Quran is everything. So if we break any of these laws, which are in the thousands, we become kafir, according to the ayah. I said, yeah, that's what I meant. So are you kafir or Muslim? He said, no, I'm Muslim. Okay. What happened to your teacher? He said, well, he disappeared. I said, okay. So what do you think now? He says, well, the ayah only works in the major things. I said, this is the first act of not ruling by what Allah has revealed that you just did. Where did Allah say in the Quran only the major things? The small things, it's okay to rule by other than what Allah has revealed? I said, are you crazy? So you're telling me it's okay not to rule by what Allah has revealed in the minor things? He says, no. I said, well, you just said that. He said, well, I'm going to go back now to my masjid. I'm going to challenge the people to actually come and destroy your argument. He went back there, and the intelligence agency picked him up. Because when they didn't want to answer him, he started saying, you are deviant people. You made me make everybody a kafir all these years. You're ignorant, this and that. And they picked him up and tortured him. And when I saw him afterwards, a 28-year-old man, he was like this thin. We had good health. I said, what happened to you? He said, they beat me up in jail. I had a heart attack, 28 years old. And then, since then, I'm really in bad shape. I said, didn't I tell you not to go to their masajid? Because many of these people work for the governments. And they're saying this, he's a kafir, so that you can come up and say, yeah, I agree with you. Then you end up like him in jail.